Do, 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 do. All right. Whoa. Let's go live. That was a bit jilted, wasn't it? Ooh. Fingers crossed. Come on, Aussie Broadband. Come to the party. Let's see what you got. We have detached the cable and we're working straight off Wi-Fi. I like to live on the edge. Haha. Very good. Okay, welcome. It is Sunday morning, and for those of you who have nothing better to do, thank you for joining me. I'm so pleased. For those of you who have no idea who you have joined, I am Aileen Day. I am the owner of Meraki Business Solutions and Value Driven Brand, and I'm now in the process of putting my name to shit. Oh my God, that is a scary concept in itself. And we're nearly done building the very new aileenday.com.au. So things are getting real. Anyway, I hope that whatever you are doing on this beautiful Sunday morning, and by beautiful I mean pissing rain and cold, that it is creating comfort for you or pushing you into some new spaces and challenging the way you feel about Sunday mornings. What we are doing here today, though, is we are going to talk about finding your tribe or finding your crew or your peeps or whatever you want to call it, but essentially putting yourself into a group of people who not only are like-minded, but also want to see you do the best that you can do. And the reason, so this is actually different to the planned viewing that I had for today. We were going to be talking about another subject, but the reason I decided to throw this in instead was because on Wednesday just gone, I had the absolute privilege and pleasure of facilitating a planning day and mastermind for my Momentum Business Accelerator group that I lead. And it really inspired today's conversation for this go live. And the reason it inspired today's conversation is, oh, hey, Michelle. Hope you're doing well. It'll be beautiful up in the hills where you are, nice and raining through the trees. But yes, so we were doing our mastermind this week just gone. And the reason it's influenced today's conversation is because I really wanted to, and I've said thank you to them, but I really wanted to just share with you what having a group of people by your side in business can really do for you. And to be honest, for those of you who know me, for those of you who work with me, you will quite likely know that there's very little PC about me, and there's also very little chill. In the sense that I, especially when it comes to my Momentum Business Accelerator group, I lead them for the purpose of accelerating their business, and not just accelerating their business, but accelerating the way they do business and the way they do them, right? And it was interesting. I was having a conversation with a girlfriend about it just yesterday, and hey, Martin, and I was explaining what was happening, and she said, "Are you masterminding their business or are you masterminding them?" And I said, well, the reality is they're one of the same. Without masterminding and improving the way they do themselves and improve brand you can't really do business as effectively as you would want to. And it comes to light every quarter we do these, and by no means did I invent them, certainly not. I've made it very public that last year I spent 12 months doing 4 different business accelerator programs, and ultimately I thought, you know what, I absolutely love the difference that it is making to the way I do business and to the way that I do me, that I can't not have a group or a bunch of people around me anymore. Like, I can't go forward without having a group of people around me. And that's when I started to learn about what's called the Pygmalion effect. What a weird name. But here's a fun story. The Pygmalion effect is based on a mythical Greek sculptor called Pygmalion. And basically the story goes like this, that Pygmalion created a sculpture of a beautiful woman, and he was so enamored and in love with this sculpture that he stared at it and gave it love and attention day in and day out, and to the point where he got to not being able to find himself a mate, a real person to fall in love with. And he went to Aphrodite, the goddess of love, and she granted him the wish that his statue would come to life. And so his statue that he loved and that he'd put energy and effort and everything he had into this statue came to life, and then they had a beautiful daughter. So the prophecy basically says that whenever you are around something that you are drawn to, that you want to improve, that you want to put energy into, that you will, in essence, bring it to life. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? And then what happens is when you're around people who feel and think the same way, that is an even higher likelihood that that will happen. And it's actually been a proven psychological phenomenon for many, many years. And people use it to their benefit to make sure that they can improve the way that groups of people do business. Because essentially when you're with somebody that you are enamored with, that you look up to, that you want to put energy into, you're inclined through human nature to want to work harder. And then what happens is you all, through that Pygmalion effect, lift each other up, right? How beautiful is that? And that is exactly what I get to see every time my Momentum Business Accelerator group come together. And by no means did Wednesday prove to be an easy day. It takes me about 3 days to get over them, in the sense of I put so much energy and effort, and I am enamored by the people in that group and their want and need to be better, to do better, and to support each other, that it absolutely blows me away. And because of that, I not just want to equal or match their energy or their will to do better, I want to beat it, right? So by putting this group together and essentially having them talk about themselves, I want to help them be better people. But to help them be better people, I too have to be a better person. Can you see how that like whole circle happens? And by no means, like on Wednesday, there had been some members who'd had less than ideal quarters. And by quarter, as in like the last 3 months of their work. And they came in and they said, I've got a lot of anxiety about being here today. I feel like, I'm ready to be called out for the fact that I didn't show up. And I know I didn't show up. And then you know what happens? You become disappointed that you didn't show up, because you know that the point of this group is that they're there to help you show up, right? And then when you don't do it, you feel a bit shitty. And then when you don't do it, you know that I'm about to not come at you, but I'm not going to let it slide either, right? We're going to find ways to help you use that Pygmalion effect to the best of your benefits, right? I want to help you reduce that anxiety for the next quarter, because basically you're going to fucking show up and you're going to love it. Whether I tell you you'll love it, you'll love it. No, but you'll love it because you want to love it. You'll love it because you'll see that there is a group of people who, although like-minded, who are in business as well, who want to improve the way they do business and become their own version of a value-driven brand, that there's also some underlying stuff that they don't know how to do. But when they show up and they go, you know what, I don't know how to do that, you get the benefit of the herd or the tribe or the crew, or, you know, I call them my little goal getters, right? You get the benefit of a group of people who go, you know what, we're going to help you make that happen. Let us get in your way so that you can get out of yours. And the benefits are just insane. Like on Wednesday, we had tears, we had laughter. Thankfully, none of the tears were mine for a change. Those who've done a mastermind with me will totally know what I'm talking about. But the reality was that through having come together as a group, that they all left together as a group, and then they all go into this next quarter as a group and as a team, right? And one of the things that I came to learn really quickly when I went out to business on my own was that doing business as a sole trader is a little bit fucking lonely. It's a little bit lonely. And it really wasn't until I found my herd and my group that I started to realize it doesn't have to be, right? And by having this group of people around me, I now can be challenged in the way that I think. I now get the opportunity to consider how I put myself out to the world, how I show up, because I now want to do this group of people proud. I don't want them to go out into the world and tell people about this this group of people and have everyone go, oof, or her, right? I want people to go out and they go, oh yeah, for sure. Like smack full of energy and keeping it real. That's what I want people to say. But to do that, I also have to work on myself, right? So I want you to consider, especially if you are in business alone. I mean, look, you're never ultimately alone. It might feel like it, but you're never alone. There's always someone out there for you. But I want you to consider how you can find your herd, how you can find the people who can have your back, who can create that Pygmalion effect for you and make you like force yourself to want to do better, because you don't want, you know what happens? It's a little bit like being a kid. You don't want to disappoint your parents, but it's not that it's because they're your parents and they tell you what to do. It's because we, as children, most of us look up to our parents, right? So a little bit like Pygmalion and his sculpture of his beautiful woman, he was enamored with her and he wanted to create something that wasn't created before. And the same goes for you when you do business with people who are there for you, who can challenge you and who can pull you up. You become enamored with that concept. You become, energized and wanting to be a better person and to do better in business and to be there for your team and to be there for your family, right? In a different way. You show up differently when you have people around you pushing you to be better. So I want you to consider how you can find those peeps for you, right? And, whether it's joining a business accelerator program, for those of you in the know, I went and joined Kerwin Rae. I was going to say Kieran. Who the fuck's Kieran? Kerwin Rae for 12 months and did K2 Elite. At the moment, I am doing Thought Leaders, right, with Matt Church and Lisa O'Neill. and a whole bunch of amazing peeps. And then I get the privilege of leading my own as well. And, with the Momentum Business Accelerator program, it's basically I got to cherry pick the best parts of the 4 programs that I was doing last year and then implement them into my own and help business owners and leaders become better humans, right? I talk about that human experience all the time. Wednesday was the perfect example of the truest of human experiences, right? We had, like I said, tears, laughter, love, pushing, shoving, not pushing and shoving, physical pushing and shoving, but back and forth, right? We challenged each other. We supported each other. It was a fucking kumbaya moment if I've ever seen one. People talked about things that were really, really deep and hitting home for them, whilst other people talked about their relationships and how that's potentially affecting the way they do business. And as I said to my friend, unless you deal with what's going on in you, the likelihood of you showing up for others is pretty low. So I want you to look for your tribe. If you have one, tell me all about it. What makes it special for you, right? If you don't have one and you think that you are alone, please always know that you can reach out and know that there are, as I say with relationships, there's a pot for every lid, right? If you want to invest in a business accelerator program, there are many to choose from, whether it's Kerwin or me or anyone else doing one, right? There are so many that are there to help you. You just have to find the people who are going to do those 2 things. They're going to be like-minded and they're going to support you and help you bring yourself up to that next level, but they're also going to challenge you, right? Crews, having a tribe doesn't just mean that they say yes to everything. If anything, I am more inclined to challenge and push back on your thinking than I am to just sit back and go, yeah, totally try it. It's going to be fine. Yeah, because it probably won't. And that's the whole point of being in a group, for having those people who will be upfront, transparent, honest, right? Have your back. And if it does go to shit, they still got you. If you have a bad quarter, they still got you, right? If you make things magically happen, probably not through magic at all, probably a lot of fucking hard work and intense focus, they got you, right? Because the other thing is we don't have people to help us celebrate either, right? That's the other great thing about having a crew. So I want you to make sure that whoever your peeps are, that they're doing those 2 things for you. And then I want you to think about where you were and where you're going, because I can guarantee when you find those people who are the right people for you, whether it be for free or an investment or whatever it is, however it is you find them, that you are certainly going to put yourself on the trajectory of self-improvement and higher success. So I want you to think about those things. And if you don't have a crew, start looking for one, because you will not know yourself in 12 months' time when you find the right people for you. It's a short one for me today. I just wanted to then also say to my mastermind team, to my Momentum Business Accelerator group, thank you so much for showing up on Wednesday, especially. But thank you for the effort and the energy that you put in, not just to yourselves and to your businesses, but to everybody in that group. Because I know what it means to me. And I know after watching you all together on Wednesday, I couldn't be prouder of what we have created. And I really do look forward to growing it and getting more people involved that can believe in each other and help each other become the best value-driven brands that they can become. So until next time, please go out and deliver value to somebody else in your life, because if you haven't figured it out by now, what goes around comes around. And for those of you who joined us live today, thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to see your faces and your comments. And if you do watch this post the live, feel free to throw comments in there and tell us about what makes your tribe so special. I am certainly all ears, and I love hearing about how you get to push yourself and others to be the best versions that they can be. That's it for me today. Until next week, have a wonderful rest of the Sunday, and we'll catch you then. Bye.